story starts with Alma and me. We were married in 1992 and we had planned to have children, and we had to go through an in vitro fertilization program. And during that time we found out that she had hepatitis C. It was probably not a good idea for us to have children because the children might have chronic liver problems. Then we started having some symptoms from the hepatitis C, and they found out that she had cirrhosis of the liver, and it was fairly advanced. He suggested that we start considering transplant. And none of her siblings were tissue matches, but her daughter was, and her daughter was more than happy to sign up for that. The transplant went well, and my wife's daughter came out of it well, and Alma came out of it well. I was conflicted because here I was praying, and where was all my prayer all this time before? But I'm asking for prayer when I need something. One night I left, kissed her goodbye, and went to my room. I came back the next morning and she was yellow as a banana. They found out that her spleen was oversized and it was feeding too much blood into her new liver, so they had to reopen her up. Again, praying hard, praying for good results, and she came out of it with flying colors. And about day 7 after the transplant, she started seeming like she was having hallucinations, and she got out of her bed and she ran into the side of the door of her room. They took her into a CAT scan to see if she had damage to her brain, and she had a little bit of accumulation of fluid in her brain, and they monitored that for the next couple of days, but didn't feel like any more fluid was accumulating. So the next week we got discharged, and that was November 17th. She started becoming a little bit unresponsive. Little by little, she was losing her motor skills. On the way home, I needed to know what I had to do. And I prayed and I prayed, and I remember the exact place on Highway 29 coming back from work where I felt this sense of relief. Suddenly I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I knew that Jesus had answered my prayer. It was such a wash. I will never forget that feeling. I knew I had to call 911 and get my wife picked up and taken to the hospital. They did a CAT scan on Alma and found out that her brain had been tilted from the pressure of more fluid that accumulated in her brain. She was completely out of it, unresponsive. About the time that we got there, they had already finished drilling some holes in her head to relieve the pressure. And according to the doctor, had I not had her brought in, she probably would have died the next day. My prayers were answered. He told me what I needed to do. I may have lost sight of Jesus Christ being in my life, but when I needed him, he was there, and he answered my prayers in many, many